say the Pledge of Allegiance? Trustee Withrow, can you lead us, please? Can we have roll call, please?
Student trustee Malik,
Yes.
student trustee Migliaccio,
Here.
trustee Withrow,
Yes.
trustee Gonzalez Ewan,
Right here.
trustee Napoli Bellaris,
Here.
trustee Delphine Polk,
Here.
trustee Johannes,
Here.
trustee Gonzalez Brito,
Here.
trustee Quinlan.
Present.
You have a quorum.
Can I get a motion to approve the agenda?
Move approval.
Roll call, please. Are there any amendments? Roll call?
Student trustee Malik,
Yes.
student trustee Migliaccio,
Yes.
trustee Withrow,
Yes.
trustee Gonzalez Ewan,
Yes.
trustee Napoli Bellaris,
Yes.
trustee Delphine Polk,
Yes.
trustee Johannes,
Yes.
trustee Gonzalez Brito,
Yes.
trustee Quinlan.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you, Board President. Tonight, we begin our board meeting with a proclamation to recognize the life and legacy of John Beam. In addition, we'll close the meeting with a moment of silence in his honor. President Upsada, can you please start us off?
Whereas the Peralta Community College District mourns the passing of John Edward Beam, a beloved educator, coach, mentor, and leader whose extraordinary service to Laney College and the city of Oakland transformed thousands of lives and strengthened the very fabric of our community. And
whereas Coach Beam joined Laney College in 2004 as running back coach and quickly rose to offensive coordinator, where his leadership contributed to multiple conference championships and postseason appearances, setting a new standard of excellence for the Laney Eagles. And
Whereas, after assuming the role of head football coach in 2012, Coach Beam continued to elevate the program, guiding the team to league titles, playoff berths, and a state championship, while earning recognition for his outstanding coaching skill and dedication to his athletes. And
Whereas, beyond records and trophies, Coach Beam's most enduring legacy lies in his profound belief in young people. He had an unmatched ability to see potential in students long before they saw it in themselves. His commitment to their academic success, personal growth, and long-term stability shaped the way he built the Laney Athletics program, prioritizing structured study support, strong academic expectations, and consistent guidance that extended well beyond the field. And
whereas Coach Beam's impact on student athletes was rooted in the trust he placed in them. He challenged them to rise to their abilities, offered unwavering encouragement when they faced adversity, and created an environment where students who had been overlooked or doubted elsewhere could redefine their futures. His mentorship changed life trajectories, opening doors to higher education, meaningful careers, and personal confidence. And
Whereas Coach Beam's devotion to his family was central to who he was. He carried his love for them in every part of his work, grounding his leadership in compassion, modeling the importance of responsibility, and reminding those he coached that success was not just measured in victories, but in the relationships we nurture and the people we stand beside. And
whereas over his remarkable 46-year career at Laney College and Skyline High School, Coach Beam coached more than 2,500 student athletes, supported the development of more than 30 future NFL players, including Super Bowl participants, and contributed to championship success across every level of football, all while sending hundreds of students on to four-year universities. And
whereas his unwavering commitment to academics resulted in Laney's football program achieving exceptional graduation and transfer rates, demonstrating his belief that education is the foundation upon which opportunity is built. And
Whereas Coach Beam's former students, now leaders in medicine, business, public service, education, and the arts, continue to carry forward the lessons he imparted, to work hard, to persevere, to believe in oneself, and to lift others along the way. And
Whereas his charisma, humor, dogged determination, and deep love for Oakland made him not only a coach, but a community pillar whose influence extended far beyond athletics, leaving an implant on families, colleagues, and generations of young people.
Now, therefore, it be proclaimed that the Peralta Community College District Chancellor and the Board of Trustees honors and celebrates the life, service, and enduring legacy of John Beam and extends its deepest condolences to his family, friends, colleagues, students, and the entire Laney College and Oakland community. And be it therefore further proclaimed that the display of the flags at all district facilities shall be flown at half-staff beginning on November 14th, 2025 through November 24th, 2025 as an expression of gratitude for Coach Beam's extraordinary contributions to student success and as a tribute to a remarkable leader, mentor, and champion of student potential whose impact will continue to resonate for generations. Proclaim this 18th day of November 2025. Motion to approve?
Move approval.
Second,
Student trustee Malik,
Yes.
student trustee Migliaccio,
Yes.
trustee Withrow, trustee Gonzalez Ewan,
Yes.
trustee Napoli Bellarice,
Yes.
trustee Delphine Polk,
Yes.
trustee Yohannes,
Yes.
trustee Gonzalez Brito,
yes.
trustee Quinlan.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Report of action taken in closed session.
There is no action taken in closed session.
Thank you, Chancellor. Approval of the minutes.
Move approval.
second,
Any discussion or changes? Roll call, please.
Student trustee Malik,
Yes.
student trustee Migliaccio,
Yes.
trustee Withrow,
yes,
trustee Gonzalez Ewan,
Yes.
trustee Napoli Bellarice,
Yes.
trustee Delphine Polk,
Yes.
trustee Yohannes,
Yes.
trustee Gonzalez Brito,
Yes.
trustee Quinlan.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Item 3.8.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by trustee Gonzalez Ewan and seconded by trustee Delphine Polk. Roll call, please.
Student trustee Malik,
Yes.
student trustee Migliaccio,
Yes.
student trustee Withrow,
yes,
trustee Gonzalez Ewan,
Yes.
trustee Napoli Bellarice,
Yes.
trustee Delphine Polk,
Yes.
trustee Yohannes,
Yes.
trustee Gonzalez Brito,
Yes.
trustee Quinlan.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Item 3.9, Associated Student Government Reports. Are there any reports tonight?
Thank you so much. Good evening, Mr. President and members of the board. My name is Samuel Rangel. I serve as the president of the Associated Students of the College of Alameda. I'm honored to present tonight's report on behalf of our student government. Under club development, which is one of the initiatives that we are undertaking at the ASCOA, we have successfully chartered 2 additional student clubs last Friday, the 14th. The EOPS Co-op Club and the API Lead Club. College of Alameda now has 4 officially chartered clubs. The Mesa Club, the Health Through Humanities Club, the EOPS Co-op Club, and the API Lead Club. This is much better than our previous semester in which we had 0 clubs, so 4, better than 0. We are working to establish the Interclub Council to coordinate activities and provide support across all student clubs. and are awaiting confirmation from club representatives to formalize meeting dates and times. Under infrastructure and process improvements, the ACOA is purchasing new furniture for our conference room to enhance the meeting and collaboration space for both ACOA and student clubs, burgeoning. We are coordinating with Blaisdell, I believe is how it's pronounced, to finalize the design and the budget for these new conference room furniture. We are implementing a digitized club chartering process to streamline the formation of new student organizations and reduce administrative delays. IT has established official email accounts for ACOA officers to improve communication and accessibility to students. ACOA is exploring online office hours to make student government more accessible to online students, utilizing laptops or Chromebooks to answer student questions remotely. On to governance and appointments. Vice President Ann Gormley and Treasurer Rosa Perez were appointed to the Dean of Letters and Sciences Hiring Committee. Student recognition, congratulations to Emily Contreras, who was selected as the winner of a round-trip ticket with Southwest Airlines after completing the division restructuring survey. The incentive was provided as a part of an award the college received from the Alameda Chamber of Commerce for excellence in workforce development. The ACOA promoted the survey to encourage student participation in shaping our college's future structure. Under student engagement and programs, here are some recent events that the ACOA hosted or was somehow involved in. Dia de los Muertos community celebration on November 3rd in the F Building pit. Dia de los Muertos Ofrenda building on October 27th at the F Building display case, which I participated in personally. Halloween karaoke on October 31st at the Cougar Den. The Boba Bash at Laney College on October 28th, a successful collaborative event between Peralta API organizations, including our own API Lead Club, with many participants from the College of Alameda. ACOA promotional video filming on November 3rd and 4th, capturing ACOA members in action to showcase our student government and activities. Here are some upcoming events. Project Hope, UC Berkeley undergraduate scholars transfer pathways on Wednesday, November 19th from noon to 1 p.m. in the library at the College of Alameda, L215. Guest speaker, Shanae Shea, founder of Incarceration to College and Pathways to College, will present on transfer opportunities to UC Berkeley. Movie and documentary screening, Bring Them Home on November 25th from 12:30 to 2 on the second floor of the F Building. Sugar Cane on November 26th from 1 to 2:30 in the ACO conference room, a free screening of a documentary and a movie about Indigenous people and social justice for Indigenous People Month. World AIDS Day Resource Fair on December 1st from 12:30 to 2:30 outside the H Building, organized by COA's LGBTQIA+ Advisory Task Force. This event will provide in-person rapid HIV testing, fun activities, and community partner tables. All are encouraged to attend. Here are some ongoing programs. Fanfolk Friday, Cougar Karaoke every Friday from noon to 1 p.m. Vice President Ann Gormley will be leading an upcoming student panel in January for students to share their experience with professors and administrators. The theme is What Students Wish Professors Knew. ASCOA members are volunteering to support Black History Month programming for February 2026. Civic engagement and participation. ASCOA continues to seek a student representative for the Civic Empowerment Task Force, which will meet once monthly to address civic engagement initiatives across campus. For basic needs and student supports, especially important in this time of need. Food security. The free produce market takes place on the second and fourth Tuesday of each month from 12:30 to 3:30 outside the F Building at the College of Alameda. Tasty Tuesday is every day. Students with a valid student ID and semester ticket sticker are eligible for free breakfast or lunch at the Cougar Den on the second floor of the F Building, served by Pacific Fine Foods from 8:30 to 3 p.m. Free holiday chickens, frozen chickens, distribution on Tuesday, November 25th from 11:30 to 1:30 p.m. behind the F Building and Student Center. In partnership with the Alameda County Community Food Bank, the College of Alameda students can receive one frozen chicken per household with 1 or 2 holiday sides if dishes are available during the market at COA. First come, first serve. Comprehensive support services. The one-stop shop is open every weekday except Tuesdays in room F122, offering food, clothing, hygiene products. Students can connect with Jeremy, our basic needs coordinator for support. Basic Needs at COA has established a diaper bank. Currently enrolled students with children can now pick up a free monthly supply of diapers, 2 packs of diapers with 2 packs of wipes per child per household. And finishing it up, special events and initiatives, open house and outreach and financial aid event on November 19th. That was today. I was just there from 4 to 5 p.m. And ASCOA is co-sponsoring with the Vice President's Office a winter clothing drive for brand new children's coats. We're trying to get those, and gently used winter clothing items for the boutique at the College of Alameda. And the Veterans Resource Center lunch was held Monday, November 10th in celebration of Veterans Day. Thank you for your continued support of our student body and the associated students of the College of Alameda.
Are there any other associated student reports? Any other report of the Classified Senate?
There is no report tonight for the Peralta Classified Senate.
Report for the District Academic Senate.
Good evening, Board of Trustees, Chancellor, administrators, faculty, classified, and students of Peralta. My name is Leslie Blakey. I am the president of the District Academic Senate. And on the behalf of the District Academic Senate, I want to express our sorrow at the senseless tragedy of the loss of life of Coach John Beam. He was a fierce advocate for students, for the capabilities they held within themselves to achieve their potential, and the life-changing catalysts that participation in sports could bring. This incident has also crystallized worries for many faculty working in academia, in a culture that vilifies college and the need for education, where we work on campuses that by the very nature of the workplace is open and meant to be welcoming to all, and our offices and classrooms where we can be found are published. We also think of our students, these students who for over 25 years, an entire generation has grown up with the reality of active shooters at schools. And to have it here is so very difficult. Well, a shooting, not an active shooter. We spend our teaching lives seeking to improve how to explain that concept better, make a lecture more interactive, update our curriculum to include current events, engage in continuous improvements to see that light bulb go off for a student as they grasp that difficult concept. This leads us faculty to question, discuss, and debate. And so now faculty concerns are being raised, and our hope is to be listened to with how we can respond more effectively if there was an active shooter on a rampage. What do we do when a lockdown? What are the improved communication and training systems that can be put into place if we need to have another lockdown? We owe it to ourselves and to our students. Speaking of continuous improvement, advocacy for our students and debate, the Academic Senate of California Community College, ASCCC, held its plenary in San Diego in early November. ASCCC is guided by 10+1 principals, and once again, Peralta sent 10+1 folks to plenary to participate in the sessions, give presentations, network, and discuss, debate, and vote on resolutions presented from academic senates all over the state. Our 10 from our colleges were from BCC, Matt Freeman, Fatima Shah, and Ari Krupnik. From COA, Jennifer Fowler, Carla Peguis, and Yolani Sobhai Garabin. From Laney, Eleni Gastis and Bill Trago. From Merritt, Monica Ambalal and Neem Chai. And from our District Academic Senate, myself. It was exciting to have not only our Senate presidents, but many of the vice presidents and curriculum folks to participate and learn about the process of advocacy from our campuses to the state level. And finally, I want to say that as I have read the outpouring of tributes to Coach Beam and what he has meant to so many students, I want to remind us all that this is why we do this work, why we are involved in academia, and that we impact the lives of so many people in our classrooms, in our campuses, and in our community. So Peralta community, let's continue to do the good work. And as Coach Beam always said, 2 claps, ready, ready.
Thank you. Item 3.12. We'll now move to the public comments. Please remember this portion of public comment is only for items that are not on the agenda. If you have a comment on a public hearing item, please wait for the item to be called to make your comment. Thank you. Sasha, do we have any public comment tonight?
Yes, Board President, we do. We're going to begin with Robert Crowley, followed with Jeff Sunseri.
What's up, everybody? Thank you for giving me time to speak to you all today. I am the cash department chair at Laney College, full-time instructor and a football coach. Yesterday, we had a meeting with administrators at Laney, Dr. Apsada, Ali, as well as Chancellor Gilkerson, and thank you all for being at the meeting. That was really important to us. And it was about the life-changing event that happened at the Fieldhouse. Again, thank you everyone for taking the time to listen to what we were going through, as well as our concerns that we have for returning to the Fieldhouse. Coach Beam started every semester by addressing the student athletes. He would start by saying his first responsibility is to protect the student athletes that were there. Under his leadership, the Fieldhouse has been a place for safety, security, and growth. It was where students, faculty, and staff could come and feel safe and at home. It's where we've watched our students grow, be challenged, thrive, and move on to do great things in our communities and beyond. It's a place where we bring our family members and have no worries about their safety as they are allowed to run free and be happy, and it was a place of connection. Fieldhouse has been a beacon for the community as well. If you go there at nights, if you guys look across the street when you leave here today, you'll see that the Fieldhouse and stadium, well, not the Fieldhouse right now, but the stadium is flooded with community groups. It's kids and families that are in a place that they can grow and be themselves and build their organizations to help the community at large. While those groups are slowly returning because this has been their home for so long, it is our responsibility and duty to make sure that the place that they call home is safe for the foreseeable future. Yesterday during our meeting, we were informed that there were conversations being had about how we can improve safety on campus. I am here today asking that we expedite this process and prioritize the Fieldhouse security so that we can get back to this space that's so vital to our campus and the Oakland community. Campus security as a whole needs improvement, and that's a greater conversation, and it's why these meetings have begun, but we can't return to the Fieldhouse without improved safety. The visibility, the usage, the openness that make that facility so incredible is why we need to have a plan to keep it safe. For my 13 years at Laney College, over a third of my lifetime, Coach Beam was the security plan at the Fieldhouse. He did it his way through the equity that he had built within the community over 4 decades of service. However, when he asked for help, there never really seemed to be a sense of urgency or an honest ear to listen to his requests. He was at the meeting the Wednesday prior, talking about how we need to up security. I don't want to go into detail about that now for obvious reasons. Because Coach Beam was there, it allowed security measures to be overlooked and at times neglected in that area, as Beam was always able to hold it down and create a safe space. And with this no longer being the case, I am pleading that we act quickly in our In our meeting yesterday, we laid out a plan that we could build around and implement relatively quickly, as we need more dedicated and trained staff members committed to this area. However, this would just be the start of a long-term solution. Please bring back this oasis that is so important to the people that we serve. It needs to be prioritized at this time, as we no longer have the person that kept it safe and made it special. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Good evening, everybody. Obviously, we're all, reeling from the profound loss of John Beam, great coach and teacher who, truly went to the mat for his students. His loss will be felt for a very long time here in the district and in Oakland. I really can't say a whole lot more eloquently than the people have come before me or after me, I'm guessing. But, gosh, I will say that, speaking with faculty just across, the campuses, there's a lot of anger and frustration, but it's really fear. So I'm hoping, I'm wishing, and I know that PFT will be there in all of the kind of like the meetings and all the action that we'll be taking to make our campuses safer for our faculty and for our students and for classified and our administrators as well. So I really want to press impress upon everybody exactly, how important this is to all faculty that the movement actually starts quickly. Thanks.
Thank you.
Next, we have Laney Gassis.
Hi, everybody. Good evening, Chancellor, Chancellor Gilkerson. Good evening, Board, Administration, and members of our beloved PCCD community. I'm here tonight in my capacity as the Faculty Senate President at Laney College. Today we had our first meeting since tragedy struck last week, and I really just wanted to come today to relay on behalf of the Senate how deeply we would like to express our condolences to the family of John Beam. He was truly a member of our Senate, representing the Cache area, a pillar of the community, and a fierce advocate more than anything for his students. One of the things that we discussed is how his work continues through us here at Peralta. We honor John's legacy through our work with students, trying our very best to duplicate the time and the fervor that he spent to make their lives better. We are in solidarity, of course, with the faculty in our Cache department, the many classified professionals that work, together with the faculty to support the Cache area, and also our administrators who have shown tremendous leadership just to keep us going as we all want to fall apart this week. Our hearts are broken for the student athletes in particular that are experiencing unimaginable amounts of grief. And I think I just really want to say that you, the students, are John's reason. You're our reason, and we're here because of you and for you. The Senate will do whatever we can to support our community, and we just want everyone to know that you can rely on us and you can call on us when you need us. Thank you very much.
There are no other comments for tonight.
Thank you to everyone who made time to address the board during public comments. Item 3.13, Chancellor's report.
Thank you, Board President Quinlan. Before I begin my Chancellor's report, I want to first publicly thank everyone who's reached out to support Laney College and our Peralta community. Thank you to all of our local and state leaders, community members, our California community colleges colleagues, partners across the board. So many of you reached out and offered support and condolences, and my deepest gratitude on behalf of our entire community for your love and support. First, let me acknowledge the pain we're all feeling. Our hearts are broken. It's hard to make sense of the senselessness. As an educator surrounded by other educators, I know how quickly we try to give structure to something we can barely hold. When tragedy strikes close to home, our instinct is to search for explanations, to make sense of what simply cannot be made sense of. But tonight, we're confronted with the truth that is both painful and unacceptable. Gun violence in our society is rampant, and it is reaching places that should be sanctuaries of belonging, learning, and hope. Gun violence is a national epidemic, and its impact on our campuses and communities is devastating. To date, in 2025 alone, there have been 39 separate college campus shootings, resulting in injury or death to someone other than the shooter. We know the data. We see the headlines. We hear the arguments. But none of it softens what we're feeling tonight. None of it brings Coach Beam back. Over the years, I have learned that pain is not something we can think our way out of. It demands presence. It asks us to sit together in grief and resist the urge to wrap tragedy in neat analysis. And the most honest leadership I can offer is this: I don't have all the answers. I don't know why this happened, but I am here and we will walk through this together. Communities across the nation have had to find their way through similar darkness. After Gilroy, after San Jose, after Monterey Park, after Charleston, after Pittsburgh, after Orlando, after Oakland. Again and again, people come together not because they have answers, but because they refuse to let violence or despair define who they are. And we saw that same spirit today from the Skyline High School students who walked out of class with calls to end gun violence, young people refusing silence or numbness, refusing to accept the world as it is. And we have seen this courage before. In 2012, when the Sikh community in Oak Creek, Wisconsin lost 6 worshipers to hate-filled shooting, they showed the world what it looks like to stand in the rawness of loss with dignity. They leaned into a core belief called Jadi Gala, the ever-rising spirit. The conviction that even in the deepest sorrow, the human spirit can rise. Not because everything is okay, but because a community chooses to rise together. Their courage reminds me of something essential. Our strength comes from connection, not comprehension. From presence, not perfection. From choosing each other, even when the why remains painfully beyond our reach. John loved this community fiercely. And because he loved it, he paid attention. He offered ideas, pushed us to think differently, and showed up always. He didn't teach resilience as an abstract idea, he embodied it. He taught us that strength is found in community, that courage is practiced daily, and that hope is not naive. Hope is work, hope is action, hope is choosing each other, however imperfectly, especially when the path ahead is unclear. To John's family, we offer our deepest condolences and our profound gratitude. Thank you for allowing us to be part of his extended family and for sharing so much of his time, his care, and his extraordinary presence with this community over so many years. As reflected in our proclamation, his devotion to you was not just a part of who he was, it was the center of it. He carried his love for you into every space he entered, grounding his leadership in compassion, modeling responsibility, and reminding all of us that true success is measured not in accolades, but in the relationships we nurture and the people we stand beside. Your love shaped him, and through him, it shaped us. We hold you close in our hearts during this unimaginable time. In the days, weeks, and months ahead, there is much we will talk about. Safety, community conditions, and what it will take to continue to transform our district. And we will have those conversations. But tonight, we honor John by rising in the spirit he lived by, together with courage, compassion, and unwavering belief that even in darkness, we can rise. Our responsibility is to one another. Our commitment to creating safer communities, our willingness to support one another through uncertainty. That is Jadi Gala, and that is how we begin to heal. Thank you.
Thank you. Item 4.1, approval of all consent items. Can I now get a motion to approve the consent items? I get a second?
Second.
Motion made by Trustee Gonzalez-Ewan, second by Trustee Delphine-Polk. Roll call, please.
Student trustee Malik,
Yes.
student trustee Migliaccio,
Yes.
trustee Withrow,
Yes.
trustee Gonzalez-Ewan,
Yes.
trustee Napoli Bellarice,
Yes.
trustee Delphine-Polk,
Yes.
trustee Johannes,
Yes.
trustee Gonzalez-Brito,
Yes.
trustee Quinlan.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you. Item 9.1, oh, sorry. Yes, item 9.1. Chancellor?
Thank you, Board President. Item 9.1 is the adoption of a resolution 2526 regarding a new fund established for the Peralta College Community College District Foundation, setting up a Fund 85 account with our treasury.
Move approval.
Second.
Motion was made by trustee Gonzalez Ewan and second by trustee Withrow. Any discussion? Call the question.
Student trustee Malik,
Yes.
student trustee Migliaccio,
Yes.
trustee Withrow,
Yes.
trustee Gonzalez Ewan,
Yes.
trustee Napoli Bellarice, trustee Delphine Polk,
Yes.
trustee Johannes,
Yes.
trustee Gonzalez Brito,
yes,
trustee Quinlan.
Yes.
Motion passes.
So I'm going to recuse myself for items 9.2, 9.3. I have conflict of interest with items on the agenda. Trustee Johannes is going to take those items, 9.2 and 9.3.
Okay. Item 9.2, consider review of the purchase of order report for the period covering September 1, 2025 through September 30, 2025. Chancellor, anything? Okay.
Move
Mo-
approval of 9.2, and can I just combine it with 9.3?
To go? All right. Motion to combine or
Just
Just
I'm
good to go.
making the
All
motion
right.
to
move
Okay.
to approve of 9.2 and 9.3? Second?
I'll second.
That was trustee Gonzalez Yuan with the motion, with trustee Delphine Pope with the second. Call to question?
Student trustee Malik,
Yes.
student trustee Migliaccio,
Yes.
trustee Withrow,
Yes.
trustee Gonzalez Ewan,
Yes.
trustee Napoli Bellarice, trustee Delphine Polk,
Yes.
trustee Johannes,
Yes.
trustee Gonzalez Brito,
yes,
trustee Quinlan. Oh, abstain. Apologies. Motion passes.
Now hear reports from trustees. Start with you, trustee Withrow. Trustee Reese.
There aren't any words at all, as we all know. But maybe I'll just say that, many of us spend much of our life ruminating at specific points, some of us our entire life, trying to figure out our purpose, our impact, our legacy. And people sometimes spend their whole life never figuring that out. Coach Beam knew exactly what, as Eleni had said earlier, his reason was. His passion and his purpose for his students, his athletes. I can't even imagine the thousands of lives he transformed and he changed. And it wasn't just the students and the potential that they had, that he allowed them to be able to see, and the discipline that he put forth, and the mentoring, the support, and and the love, all of that. But it was also their families that he impacted. And it was the individuals that those students eventually encountered in their life. So it was multifolded, it was varied. And again, there are no words to the family, to the students, to everybody that ever had the wonderful experience of interacting, encountering, sharing a moment with such a vital force, right? If there's anything I remember most, because I was not out on the field with him ever, but I just remember him on the dais, his voice, his perseverance, his fervency about advocating for the students, about advocating for the future of the students, even when they were just the people the students on his field, the young men and women on his field at the time. How lucky, and I don't even know what the beginning of that sentence was, but I'll just say that we are all profoundly so blessed to have had the opportunity to have had him, whether it was momentary or whether it was for a long period of time in our lives, to have had Coach Beam in our lives. And I think that he is always going to be the spirit of Laney. He's always going to be the spirit of this district. And I'm sure that he is always going to be in each and everybody's life and mind and being.
The last couple of interactions I had with Coach Beam were were kind of telling of who he was. I remember he came here about 2 months ago, advocating on the fees for the athletic fields, and he'd written to the board members, he'd made phone calls. He was up against a unanimous a unanimous decision of the shared governance bodies to raise the fees, but he persevered in the face of that. Like, it was him against every single other vote. And I remember, telling him, look, Coach, I'm sorry, I just can't go with you on this one. He said, that's okay. I just feel good that you heard me. He wanted a chance to be heard and to advocate for what he believed in, and then he moved on. He wasn't bitter about it at all. The last interaction I had with him was over at Laney at the dedication of the new learning center, and he said, Trustee, you came to the opening game. Are you going to come to the closing game? He was always just like there for his students and always inviting people in. And that was so extraordinary. And as I reflect as an educator, thinking about what an extraordinary teacher he was. I mean, his record as a teacher, I think any of us who are educators would just like, if we could do half of what he did, if we could do a 10th of what he did, we'd feel like we'd died and gone to heaven, And I think that's what I'm going to miss most is that he was really kind of the best of us. Thank you.
Trustee Yohannes?
Yeah, so I just want to, when I first got onto the board, he invited me to speak to the student athletes. I didn't know he didn't know anything about me at the time. So I went to go speak, and I tell the student athletes the story of how I basically got here. And I tell the whole thing of, yes, I ended up joining the military, and then I was stationed in Korea, but I don't want anybody, right after 9/11, I don't want anybody to have to risk their lives just for an education. And you guys have this, and community college, all that. And then afterwards, he's like, hey, I didn't know. Also, I'm half Korean, also. And he was basically saying he was impressed by me. And I'm like, you impressed by me? But the feeling that I had when he said that he was sort of proud of me, I felt proud. And I'm like, I got 2 seconds of it. You know what I mean? His student athletes get that all the time. They got that all the time. I had that for a second as a 40-something-year-old. Like, I didn't need it, and it felt great. He did that for 40-something, my life, right? For 40-something years. And it just, he spread, the work, but the joy. And then immediately after, he's like, go ahead, purchase some Laney gear. I'm going to be in your text message. We're going to discuss what needs to be changed. I'm like, all right, you got me. But yeah, do your job and we'll work for you. And that's exactly, he did more than his job. And I'm happy to have worked with and for him.
Trustee Duffin-Paul?
Thank you. So I first met Coach Beam in the spring of 2021, just a few months after I was elected to this board. And so he invited me and then Trustee Kevin Jenkins down to the athletic program, gave us a whole tour, spent a whole afternoon with us. He was excited to have us. He put our names up on the marquee, had our pictures up there. It was the first time I'd seen my name up, like Trustee of the Polk. It was the first time that I'd seen that because I got elected during the pandemic. And so that was really special. And he made me feel special. I was a little bit starstruck also. Last Chance U had just come out a few months before that and really put a national spotlight on Laney. And so walking the campus with him and with Kevin, walking around the football field and watching practice and talking with him, and it just was so clear that what the cameras captured on Last Chance U was only a fraction of who he was and how deeply he cared for our students. I could see immediately how proud he was of his work, of how much he loved Laney and how deeply he loved Oakland. His passing is a heartbreaking loss for all of us, for our district and for our town, which I am a resident of. I also want to convey my deepest and sincerest condolences to his wife, his family, and his loved ones. His legacy lives on in the students that he mentored, the colleagues that he worked with, and I'm proud to call myself one of them, and the generations of families that he uplifted through his work. Thank you.
Trustee Malik?
I'm very grateful for everyone who was able to speak tonight. I think that when we do go through difficult times like these, having a community really makes up for the feelings that you might be afraid to share. Yeah.
Trustee Malachi?
Just to expand a little bit on what Ion said, yes, it's incredibly difficult when someone makes such a big impact on such a well-known community, and I never had the pleasure of meeting him, but he sounded absolutely incredible. And again, from the both of us, our deepest condolences to everyone, family, friends, and coworkers.
Thank you. Announcements. Sasha, can you read any announcements?
President, can I say a few words? Sorry to interrupt. Is that okay?
Go ahead, Trustee Bree.
Okay, thank you. First, I want to apologize for not being there with all of you today. I had to leave town to come to Los Angeles. It couldn't be helped, and it makes me extremely sad that I couldn't be there with you today to remember Coach Beam, to hear from all our community who spoke today. I want to, like others, extend my deepest condolences to Coach Beam's family and loved ones, his students, the thousands of student athletes that he touched, and the entire Laney and Peralta community. I want to start by recognizing that nothing I can say can take away the hurt, the pain, and the fear that our community is feeling right now. Nothing we can say can change that. We are grieving, and I grieve with you. We've lost a great man, a beloved member of our community who has positively impacted thousands of lives, a man who was a fierce advocate for his students and all the good that Laney College is. I want to say that you have a right to feel angry. We have a right to demand that we have the hard conversations. And I want to commit to have those hard conversations with you, to listen to you and hear you, to figure out together how we move forward from here. In my tradition, Coach Beam has now joined the realm of the ancestors. Ancestors who, even though they are no longer with us in the same way they were before their passing, never really leave us, that they are always presente or present. So we say, John Beam presente. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Thank you, everybody, for tonight. Carry Coach John Beam in our memories and our hearts. Carry his family in our hearts. And our meeting's adjourned.
Announcements.
It's not adjourned. Sorry. Officially adjournment.
Love your future. Enrollment is open for winter intersession and spring 2026 classes. Visit the Peralta website to start the application or enrollment process. The Peralta Colleges will be closed on November 27th and 28th in observance of Thanksgiving. Save the date. The next foundation fundraiser, the Peralta Piano Party, will take place at the District Service Center Atrium on Friday, February 27th, 2026. Stay tuned for more details. Hope to see you there. Laney's women's basketball team is playing on Friday at 5 p.m. at home in the gym. That is all that we have.
So can we now pause for just a minute for a moment of silence for Coach Beam and his family? in our community. Thank you, everyone.